Gold climbs above 4,100. It is the first time we've seen gold above 4,000 an ounce. Not sure if anyone would have predicted that, to be honest. It's been an unbelievable run, and definitely the chaos in the US, the uncertainty around the world, wars, weaker US dollar, all that has played a factor. High debt levels, not just in the US, but all around the world. It seems like countries are taking on more debt to spend to try and stimulate their economies, and that's what's happening right now. And the benefactor of all the spend and all the debt levels has been gold. And our first chart here we can see is of gold, and there it is. And gold just does not seem to want to stop. Over $4,100 an ounce. It still is quite volatile. We've seen gold just in the last week or so fall $100 an ounce, only to rebound $50 an ounce the next day. It still is, in my opinion, a higher risk investment, and one that is definitely not for the faint of heart. For those that are betting on a weaker US dollar, more US Federal Reserve cuts coming up, then gold is and has been and continues to be a good investment idea. As many of you know, I'm not much of a gold bug. I still can't get over this idea of what owning gold actually does for somebody. You know, if you own some gold bullion, you put it in a safety deposit box. What's that for? Is that for the end of the world scenario? You know, we all know that you can't take a bar of gold and go to your local Shoppers Drug Mart or variety store and buy groceries, or go to a grocery store and buy groceries for that. So what can gold do for you? Well, I guess it's a hedge against the US dollar, but it's mainly, in my opinion, a trading vehicle. People are using it to trade right now because of the weakness in the US dollar. Because of that, and that's probably the number one reason that individual investors are buying gold, for a trading vehicle. Our next chart that I actually wanted to show is one that compares gold, and this is actually going to be a chart of Bitcoin. And I thought it'd be interesting to see cryptocurrency. How is crypto faring? Is it faring as well as gold? And the answer is yes. Crypto, or Bitcoin, is doing extremely well as well. Again, is that because of the weaker US dollar, for individual investors trying to find an alternative to the US dollar? Well, perhaps it is. We all know that when it's a risk on type of day in the markets, Bitcoin tends to do well, like the stock market as well. So wanted to show Bitcoin for all of you out there that are wondering how Bitcoin is faring. We saw the chart on gold price, but Bitcoin as well. Analysts, let's show our next chart. What are analysts saying about the price of gold? Well, again, you actually can see it here. We blew it up for you here, but I have my notes here that I can see. You can see all the different banks talking about where they believe the price of gold is going to end up in 2025 and where they see it for 2026. Bank of America believes that at the end of 2025, they had a $3,300 target. Well, that's way past that now. They actually had a $4,400 target in 2026. We'll see. That's a little bit away, maybe another $500 an ounce away. But a lot of these analysts actually have lower targets for the price of gold. You're looking at Deutsche Bank, 3,200, 3,300 for the end of 2025. HSBC, even Goldman Sachs. But many of these investment firms and banks have a much higher price for gold for 2026. You can see here Goldman Sachs, 4,500 an ounce for the yellow metal. And the Bank of America, they just hiked their gold price for 2026 to $5,000 an ounce. So some are betting against gold, some are betting with gold. For me, I've never been one to bet with gold. I believe that the yellow metal will come down as the US dollar gains strength, as the US economy gains strength, and as we start to see a little bit more consistency, all this negativity around trade, trade US China, US Canada, US rest of the world, all this uncertainty, all this debt. I think as the situation gets better, I think you could definitely see the price of gold fall. And to me, when you own gold, it's something that you just don't sit on. Maybe as a small piece of a portfolio you can hold for the long term. But if any of you are holding gold as a main component for a portfolio, definitely you want to keep an eye on what's going on out there and how it affects the price of gold, because the yellow metal is definitely something that can fall or move a lot higher very, very quickly.